family viewing time. This is further normalizing of sin and the LGBTQ agenda. So 1 million moms must speak out. If you agree with us, please sign our petition at 1millionmoms.com. Share it with your friends and family at 1millionmoms.com.
This is Trivia Friday. The number to call with your question or your answer to a question is 888-589-8840.
What is the proper name of a hot dog?
Absolute
Okay.
delight.
It is an absolute delight.
But I'll give them an A+ for being able to eat ice cream with chopsticks. That's a real talent right there.
I stayed 5 hours at a Japanese restaurant one time trying to eat soup. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Thanks for listening. Tim Wildman here with Ed Vitagliano. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Tim.
JJ Jasper.
Great to be here.
That's it. You usually have an opening joke for us.
Okay. Two silkworms decided to race, but they ended up in a tie. Look, not this.
Happy Father's
not
Day,
this
everybody.
weekend, but next Sunday is Father's Day. Don't get your dad a stinking tie.
Nobody
and he
wear-
can buy his own socks and underwear. Get him a truck. Buy him some golf clubs. No, buy him a golf cart. We're
Something
talking
he'll
about your
remember.
dad. Grill,
Somebody-
tools, a gun, a boatload of ammo. Do something extra special
Right.
for Dad.
It's about
And while
time.
we're on the subject of Father's Day, Dads, you're blowing it. God is mad at you.
I love the first time. I don't know how I missed this because I usually consider myself a deep thinker, but about a decade ago, Tim Wildman said, "Have you noticed Mother's Day? The sermons moms are amazing. They nurture, they love,
Give
They're
them fly-
heroes.
train.
Everybody stand up. Let's give them flowers.
They're heroes.
And dads, every single Father's Day message is, Dad, you're gonna have to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
You're gonna,
10 ways to be a better dad.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start pulling your weight. You're gonna have to do more.
The country is going to Hades in a handbasket,
Right.
and Dad,
It's all your fault.
It's all your fault.
Right?
Now, let's pray.
And then after you said it, not only did I hear it, but when I was
Oh, yeah, you
invited
hear
to
it.
wild game dinners, I would have things about dads and basically, come on, dads, we can do better than we're doing.
Right. That's so true. All right. It is Trivia Friday, also known as
Learning University.
Learning University is on the air. Give us the ground rules, Ed.
All right, the ground rules are this, folks. We three professors.
Arborian R.
Yeah,
Of
we
Orient
three
R.
kings of Orient R tried to smoke a loaded cigar. It was loaded, it exploded, and now there are only two. We two kings of Orient R tried to smoke a loaded cigar. It
99
exploded.
bottles up.
No,
wait a minute.
Diet Coke on the wall.
Diet Coke on the
That's
wall.
a different road trip.
I've never heard that little thing. That
Yeah.
little.
Well, it does. It's not.
There's more where that came from.
That's right.
No,
Let's
I
go on.
don't know it.
Let's
Don't
go on.
know.
Let me go with the family vacation with you and your family. We'll just get them all in there.
All right, let me get back on track here. This is Learning University, and we three professors have questions for you, our students. That's right, you who are listening right now. So 3 questions apiece, a total of 9 questions. We invite you to call in. By the way, I guess we got to give the phone number here, 888-589-8840. Folks, there's not a single person on my computer
Oh, is it
lined up.
first-time
Wow.
callers or not?
No, it's not first-time callers. So you call in right now. You might be on the list here in the next few minutes. 888-589-8840. Man, they're popping.
Here they come.
They're popping in now.
We instituted a pay to play.
You left the gate wide open.
Yeah.
Pay to
That's what
play.
they say in Kentucky.
888-589-8840. So when you call that number and you get on with us, by the way, you do need to be 11 years old or older. You can ask, answer, or do both. And we like for you to do both if you can. You answer a question. You try to stump us with a question of your own. And one of these 9 questions is what we call a mystery question. JJ, fill our listeners in on what that means.
So out of our original 9 questions, 3 each, one of these is a mystery question. If you land on the mystery question, you don't know which one it is, but if you land on it and answer it correctly, you'll hear this sound.
The irritating
The
cowbell.
beloved cowbell. That
Cowbell.
means you win yourself a really nice stainless steel tumbler for now. we're actually kicking around thinking about a new and improved T-shirt. So we're going to get a logo.
Hearing that for
together.
2 years.
Well,
And we got some hats coming too.
And
hats
do
and
we really?
T-shirts.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
serious.
You serious?
Serious, Clark.
But you'll win for now. You'll win yourself a nice tumbler. So get the tumbler while they're made available by landing on that mystery question. And Father's Day, if you haven't gotten all your graduates, and if they're a Learning University fan,
and if you got any money left,
if you have
for
any money
Dad.
left, no, along with that gift card, get Dad something from the AFA store. We
There
have
you go.
books, T-shirts, caps, a lot of good stuff, including that stainless steel tumbler.
So that you go to resources.afa.net, resources.afa.net. If you can't remember that, you can just go to afa.net, and there's a little drop-down menu, something you can click that says resources.
There really are good things, books, DVDs, all those kinds of things, and they're good prices, and they help the ministry.
Amen.
We have a 8-week waiting period.
Before people can go to the store?
Yeah,
That's right.
that's right. I forgot
That's
this.
right.
I was supposed to give all the ground
What Dave
rules.
Ramsey says.
Yeah. You need to.
You're spending too much. You wait 8 weeks between your next visit to the
No
store.
impulse buying.
Oh.
Did
We're
you get-
encouraging people to impulse buy at the store.
Right.
Then you get that envelope out. There's nothing clumsy about that, pulling up there. Where's that envelope?
No, it's the
Uh,
wrong envelope. That's the gas bill envelope.
So we're
Envelope.
gonna
All right, so 8-week waiting
Right.
period. If you have been on with us on the air in the last 8 weeks, please wait 1 week, and then you can try again. Although
Let's
next
go.
week is first-time callers.
let's do this.
Can't get on that in the next week either. All right, here are my 3 questions.
Mhm.
Now, this first one's an Andy Griffith question. Usually Brother Bert has these on, but I think I came up with this after a little discussion from last week.
Good.
On the Andy Griffith Show,
Can't wait.
who,
These questions rock after 5 years.
oh, man. Oh, that's brutal. On the Andy Griffith
Yeah.
Show, who was the bank guard who had only one moldy bullet? On the Andy Griffith Show, who was the bank guard who had only one moldy bullet? Second question, what company used the slogan, "It's everywhere you want to be"? What company used the slogan, "It's everywhere you want to be"? And third question is a true false. Greenland is part of the continent of North America. Is that true or false? Greenland is part of the continent of North America. Is that true or false? That's what I've got.
Here's what I've got. Start out with a Bible question. It's multiple choice. Who suggested to Pharaoh that Joseph could interpret his dreams? Who suggested to Pharaoh that Joseph could interpret his dreams?
Barney.
A, the cupbearer, B, the baker, or C, the candlestick maker? Was it the cupbearer, the baker, or the candlestick maker that suggested to Pharaoh?
Who jumped over the moon?
I ran out of choices, but I think you're supposed to have 3 choices for multiple choice.
It's the guy who lived right next to the lady in the big shoe, wasn't it? All those kids.
Oh, I got more questions. 2, for you Betty Crockers and Chef Boyardees, what kind of sauce is served on Eggs Benedict? I know a guy, here's the deal, a guy got killed for serving eggs. His name was Benedict. It was during the war. I don't know what kind of mess up he had, but they've been using this name in vain ever since. Hey, don't you be no Eggs Benedict and be a traitor and betray your country. What kind of sauce is served on Eggs Benedict? Third question, multiple choice. What movie holds the record for the most weeks at #1 in the box office? This isn't
Wow,
which
interesting.
movie made the most money. It stayed on #1 for 16 weeks. A lot of times a movie will come to the theater, be there 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
16 weeks in
Wow.
a row.
It was number
it was
one?
#1, and here's your choice. Was it A, Titanic, B, E.T., or C, Jaws? What movie holds the record of all time for most weeks at #1 at the box office? Titanic, E.T., or Jaws? There's my 3.
All right, here are my questions. You know that Pat Sajak is retiring now. He just announced.
I've heard that.
After
Yep.
40, he started that back in 1981 as the host of Wheel of Fortune. All right, I want to know who was the first host of Wheel of Fortune. And this person hosted for 5 years, or actually 6 years.
So we ought to know who that is.
Hosted
You're
for-
sitting there watching with your
Yeah,
grandparents.
I say this person was prior to Pat Sajak. They've only had 2 hosts, Pat Sajak and this person.
What were their pronouns?
19.
That'll help.
Oh yeah,
That'll help us.
this person hosted from 1975 to 1981.
I just gotta say, you hosted for 5 or 6 years, and then Pat Sajak is for like 40 or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, this person had some kind of
you talk about
disagreement with the
feeling
company
like a
about how much he
failure.
got paid. This person's not a failure.
Oh, okay.
They've had a good career.
Okay.
You know the name.
All right.
All right, my second question. This week in the news, it was reported that a particular soft drink / soda had overtaken Pepsi as the second most popular among Americans.
Say it ain't so.
Yep.
I remember seeing this.
Coca-Cola is far and away the most popular drink, soft drink for Americans, but Pepsi's always been number 2.
Yeah.
Well, this drink has taken over the number 2 spot. I want to know what that drink is.
I knew Fresca was coming back. Come on, people.
Fresca.
Let's do it. Let's bring back clackers.
Fresca will rise
Pet
again.
rocks.
All right. Huh?
I used to like Fresca.
Okay, so here's my third question. JJ knew this, having worked in the bricklaying business for a while.
Like in Amarillo or something.
Well, all over.
Yeah.
I was a journeyman bricklayer, so Indiana, Kentucky, Alabama, Texas.
Running from the law.
It's
Right.
Sounds like running
Indiana
from the law.
wants me, but I can't go back there.
All right, my question is this. What is the main ingredient in both mortar and concrete? What
There
is
you go.
what is the main ingredient in both mortar and concrete? For a lot of laymen out there, I thought they were the same thing.
That's right. People don't realize the difference between mortar and concrete.
Right.
Can I tell that without giving
go.
it away? Concrete.
Well,
You're talking.
hold
you're
on.
ta-
Are you
I'm
going to
not
have?
gonna- No, I'm
You're not
going
going to mention that word, are you?
No.
Okay.
Concrete. You're thinking sidewalks, driveways, and mortar is what you put between brick, block, and stone. They look alike,
But they're different.
But they're different.
Okay.
I want to know what is the main ingredient found in both mortar and concrete. All right, let's go, Ed.
Well, I could answer this question with my long, all my experience
History in home building.
Yeah, in home building. All right, we go to Georgia.
You build spiritual homes.
There you go. Hey, there you go.
Oh,
You
that's-
should have saved that for October, Pastor Appreciation Month.
All right, Ramona, the subject of a long line of children's books. Ramona is on the program with us. Ramona, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Thank you. Good to be here.
You ever read any of those
Good morning,
books,
Professor.
Ramona?
I read them all.
Yeah.
I've read them all. Yes.
You guys
My
remember
brother
that?
called me Ramona the Pest for most of my life.
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear.
Is that a compliment?
Probably not from him. He's also called me other things, but
Just don't call me late for dinner. That's what I always tell people.
that's right.
So where do you live, Ramona, in Georgia?
I'm in Gainesville, Georgia. This is about my third time calling.
Okay,
Good.
awesome. Well, do you want? Yeah.
Most of the time I make it on before Christmas. This time I'm actually in June.
There you go.
Hey, Christmas in June. It's happening at Hobby Lobby.
Right.
And Hallmark
That's right.
And
and Lifetime. All right, Ramona. So you want to ask or answer or both?
Both, please.
Okay, which one do you want to answer?
The first host of Wheel of Fortune.
here we go.
Oh, wow.
Okay, here's the question that Ramona's going to answer. Excuse me. Pat Sajak is retiring after 41 years as host of Wheel of Fortune. Who was the first host of Wheel of Fortune? Ramona?
That would be Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery.
Chuck
Yep.
Woolery, yes.
Chuck Woolery. Do you know
And he
anything?
is-
Go ahead. Go
He's
ahead.
from Kentucky.
Yes, he is.
Mhm.
He is from Kentucky. I want to say Wilmore.
Somewhere
No,
around there, I
Ashland.
think.
Ashland.
My family's originally from Kentucky.
He's from
Ashland,
Ashland,
Kentucky, right.
Kentucky.
Now, where's that leave Vanna? Or is she still on the show? 'Cause I haven't
She's
watched.
staying.
I think.
Oh.
Yeah, she's
staying.
Is
she's
Chuck
got
coming
some,
back?
She got some serious credit card debt. She
She looks really good for
that was
an
on the
80-year-old woman.
Yeah. Vanna.
Yes.
She's been on forever.
Anyway.
Nicely done, Ramona.
How did
Way
you
to
know?
start
How
this
did you
out.
know that, Ramona? Do you remember it?
I watched it. I watched it back then, and I've
You know,
kind of followed it ever
Pat
since.
Sajak and Vanna White. I mean, that's like part of the storybook of our lives, right?
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
going to go down in history like the Robin and Batman, or Batman and Robin.
well, I mean,
and all the
I
others.
remember in the '80s watching that, and we went to visit Allison's grandparents. They've since deceased, but we would go to their house, and they would have Wheel of Fortune on, and there would be Pat Sajak and
It always can come on
Vanna White.
6:30.
Yeah.
And they didn't age. I mean, they look now
Yeah.
like they are. Last time I saw it, they look about the
Well,
same.
those Hollywood people get shots and stuff in their,
Shots.
in their face and Botox and all that stuff. They have ways surgery and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're right. Chuck Woolery was the host here. He's still around. He's 83 years old. Yeah. All right, your question for us, Ramona. Fire away.
Okay, finish this TV theme. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family from the town of Bedrock. They're a page right out of history. Let's ride. Finish that, please.
Ooh.
Tim's going to know.
I
Tim, if it helps for you to sing it, that would be meaningful to us. Just start singing it till you come to that gap.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Wait a minute, that's a different
That's a
That's
song.
a different song.
Okay. Oh, wow.
We were with you. We knew the first
Yes, the
part.
first
I was
part.
singing with you there,
Yeah.
and then the second stanza.
Yeah, you started doing this like the third verse in the hymn.
I don't know. I can't.
I
you-
can't
No,
either.
I'm
I
stumped.
can't.
I can't. I was doing fine with.
All right,
Yeah,
what's
Ramona
the
said
answer,
the-
Ramona? Fill in the gap.
Let's ride with the family down the street through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet.
Oh yeah.
Meet
Because
the Flintstones.
their car was motored by their
They're a
feet.
yeah.
yabba dabba doo yabba dabba something.
I always
something.
when I saw that I wondered
There you go.
why are you sitting down in a fake vehicle using your feet?
Right.
And isn't that bad on your joints? I was.
I think
You
you
were
were
ahead of
over.
your-
You were
you were ahead of
overthinking.
your
I'm
time.
overthinking it?
No, you're just ahead of your time. Already thinking about cataracts and hip replacements, and knee replacements.
Thank you, Ramona. God bless you. Thanks for calling today. Appreciate hearing.
You know,
from
you're
Ramona.
talking about people. The reason they don't age, they get a lot of help, a lot of work. When I first started in radio, it was taboo. You couldn't mention plastic surgery. Now you can talk about it, and nobody even raises an eyebrow.
Well, hey, listen. The good thing is for all these Hollywood people, they get all this work done on their faces, and nobody can tell a thing. That's where the rumors
Oh, man.
started. You know, all this conspiracy theory
Yeah,
about lizard people actually running the world.
yeah.
All that started when
Started
they
with
started getting
Botox.
Botox.
All right. You know, my wife Allison always looks at these fakes and why can't they just age gracefully? I
Yeah.
said, Why?
Because we all can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Kenny Rogers, bless his heart, looked like a space alien the last 15 years of his life. Huh?
Well, here's the deal. That's a little bit on him because when a guy in the alley's got the trunk of his car up wanting to do plastic surgery on you, you don't buy from people like that. You go to a certified person, not somebody in the alley. And you don't buy a watch from somebody that's wearing a trench coat. Opens up that flap. Which one of these Rolexes do you want?
I was about to say, hey, you want to buy a watch? We
All right.
mentioned the guy in the. All right, we go to Texas, and Robert is on the line. Robert, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Thank you for having me, buddy.
Thank you, Robert. Where do you live in Texas?
Waco.
Okay.
Good area.
Absolutely. Hey, anyway, well, Robert, thanks for calling. Ask, answer, or both?
Both, please.
All right, which one you want to answer?
Let me do it this way. It might be better. The question for the about the Pharaoh.
The Pharaoh?
Oh, Pharaoh. Here you go. Multiple choice question from the Bible. Who suggested to Pharaoh that Joseph could interpret his dreams? Was it A, the cupbearer, B, the baker, or C, the candlestick maker?
The cupbearer.
Cupbearer. That's right. That's Genesis 4, verse 12 and 13.
And that would have been in the dining room.
40, right?
That would have been
So what now?
Genesis 40.
Yes. No, yeah. Genesis 40, verse 12 and 13.
What now?
I just said that would have been in the dining room with a lampstand.
With next to
Hey,
Colonel
hey,
Mustard.
great for knowing
Colonel
the
Mustard.
word there, Robert. What's your question for us?
My question is going back to the days of Hogan's Heroes.
Here we go.
Which actor on the show was a Holocaust survivor?
Oh, wow.
Huh.
That's good trivia.
This is good trivia.
What are the actors you know?
Well, I mean, there's Bob Crane. I can't remember the one who played Colonel Klink or Sergeant Schultz. Those are the only three characters I can name, but I can only name Bob Crane as the.
You know, it seems like
The
that
actor.
I've heard that Schultz was was Jewish, and for him to be a German, you know, that there was some real controversy. I'm going to say it was, he was too young. But anyway, I saw
Well, how
an
about
article about
the guy who played maybe
Dawson or Richard
Colonel?
Dawson?
Colonel Klink.
We don't know the answer.
Yeah,
we don't
Colonel
know.
Klink.
Warner Klimmerer or something.
Yeah,
I
we're
forget
going to go
his
with
name.
Colonel Klink.
Yeah, but no, that wasn't him.
All right,
Okay.
what's the answer?
Robert Clary, the LeBeau.
The who?
Oh, LeBeau. Okay, the French guy
He was a real survivor of the.
of the Holocaust.
Wow.
Yeah, from what I was reading, he would sing. He was I don't remember which camp he was in, but he would sing to help get himself through the troubles that he was going through.
Wow.
He was
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert, thank
you
for listening. God bless you. Hope you have a great summer. Thanks for listening to AFR there in Waco, where the Dr. Pepper was invented.
Oh, Waco,
And you
Texas.
got Texas Rangers. You have the Texas Ranger Museum there in Waco.
Okay.
And
Not
Baylor
the baseball
University.
team, the actual law
Texas.
enforcement.
That's
Okay.
right.
We're going to take a short time out right here
We come back, we'll reset our questions.
and go back to the phones. See you back here in a couple minutes.
It's my turn.
Here is your host for My Turn, Don Wildman.
And Jesus went on from there and passed along the Sea of Galilee, and he went up into the hills and sat down there. The lowest spot in the world is the Dead Sea in the Holy Land. It is nearly 1,300 feet below sea level. The Dead Sea contains approximately 25% salt as compared to about 5% of salt content for the oceans. The Dead Sea is supplied by the Jordan River and a few small seasonal streams. When I first tasted the water in the Dead Sea, it sent a terrible taste through my body, despite the fact that I had only touched my tongue with a couple of drops of water. The water on my hands soon dried, and I was forced to take soap and fresh water before I could remove the feeling which the dried Dead Sea water left. Just a few miles up from the Dead Sea is the Sea of Galilee. It is one of the most beautiful small bodies of water in the world. The Sea of Galilee is about 13 miles long and 8 miles wide, and is some 680 feet below sea level. Its greatest depth is about 200 feet. There's no salt in the water of the Sea of Galilee. It is fresh water. Around the Dead Sea, hardly anything grows, but around the Sea of Galilee is one of the most fertile valleys in the world. The Jordan River is also the major source of water for the Sea of Galilee. The big difference in the two seas is that the Sea of Galilee takes water in and gives water out, while the Dead Sea only takes water in with no outlet. The only way water can get out of the Dead Sea is for it to be taken out through evaporation. You know, there's a symbol of life in these two seas. The Dead Sea is exactly that, dead. It takes all the water in but gives no water out. The Sea of Galilee takes water in and gives water out. The Sea of Galilee is surrounded by a living, growing, beautiful valley. The Dead Sea is surrounded by naked wilderness. And so it is with life. The person who knows how to give as well as receive will find life to be beautiful. The person who knows only how to receive and not how to give will find life to be only a barren wilderness. One of the basic fundamentals of life is that we learn how to give. If we never learn this, then we never really learn to live in a true sense of the word. I've known people who only take, who hoard everything they get, who aren't interested in anyone but themselves. And, on the other hand, I've also known people who know how to share what life passes on to them. I think you know the difference. I don't particularly like to visit the Dead Sea, but I love very much to stand on the Mount of Beatitudes and look over the beautiful Sea of Galilee. So it is with people. Those who only get and never give are never pleasant to be around. A person is thankful when he leaves their presence. But a person who can get and give finds he has people who truly love and appreciate his company. Oh, there's one other thing about the Dead Sea which I remember. It doesn't smell very good either. Perhaps there's a symbolism there also, but I'll let you figure it out.
This has been My Turn with Don Wildman, a production of the American Family Association.
There's a valid reason why more and more people are becoming disillusioned with the mainstream media. It's the same reason more and more people are turning to American Family News. They're tired of all the fluff and propaganda, and they're looking for a news source they can trust. Whether it's politics, world events, or events here at home, you know it's accurate news on current events from an evangelical Christian perspective. American Family News, on the air and on demand at afn.net.
However, as it is written, what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him. 1 Corinthians 2:9.
American Family Radio.
There you go.
That's what we're talking about.
That was Elvis Presley's number 2 hit right there. He helped him get his start, and his voice changed.
You can say yabba dabba doo with your lips snarled, buddy. That'll take you right to the top of the chart.
That's right.
All right,
Lip
Trivia
curl.
Friday.
Ba-da-ba-doo.
It is on American Family Radio. We call this Learning University. Let's repeat our questions, and then back to the phones we'll go here.
Right back at it. All right, here's Tim's favorite one of my questions.
Get ready, people.
On the Andy Griffith Show, who was the bank guard who had only one moldy bullet? Second question, what company used the slogan, I'm talking about in commercials, It's everywhere you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then third question, a true false. Greenland is part of the continent of North America. Is that true or false? Greenland is part of the continent of North America. Is that true or false?
Here's what I've got. First question, what kind of sauce is served on Eggs Benedict? What kind of sauce is served on Eggs Benedict? Second question, what movie holds the record for the most weeks at #1 at the box office? I think it was 16 weeks in a row. Was it A, Titanic, B, E.T., or C, Jaws? And then I'll add one. Which is by far the most famous painting in the Louvre? Which is by far the most viewed, the most famous painting in the Louvre? That's in Paris, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I like to. You've seen that? Have you been to the Louvre?
I have.
haven't
I
you?
have been there.
I would
Yep.
love to see that. To see, I think David is there, carved out of the granite, and some of
The
those.
Louvre? In the Louvre,
I think in the Louvre. I think David is there. I may be wrong.
I know there's.
They also have a hee-haw display from the American shows. Hee-haw.
Yeah,
Everybody's standing up in
Big-
the cornfield made out
Yeah.
of granite.
Yeah,
It took a lot of
That's-
carving.
That's right.
You know,
It's
I don't care
popular.
what people say. I think you have a lot of culture, Ed.
You don't care what people
Wait,
say.
the Boston boy talking about hee-haw. Is there anything,
Hey,
any irony
My
lost
dad
on
loved
anybody?
hee-haw.
I did.
My dad loved it.
No surprise there that I liked it, even
Yeah.
though it was campy. I did know that a lot of this stuff was corny, but I'd enjoy
my
it.
dad liked it because he was a big country western fan, and there was a couple of the players there.
Buck Owens.
Yeah,
and-
Buck
Right.
Owens.
Oh, they
He-
feature a lot of those
He had
guys.
Buck Owens albums. I remember. Anyway. That's
All right, here we
here
go.
Nor there.
My first question is, this was in the news this past week. Coca-Cola is the #1 soft drink in America. Pepsi's always been #2. There's a drink, though, that has now overtaken Pepsi as the #2 most popular drink among Americans. Soft drink, soda. I want to know the answer to that question. What is the answer? #2, what is the main ingredient in both mortar and concrete? What is the main ingredient in both mortar and concrete? All right, back to the phones.
All right, we go to Mississippi, and Haywood is on the line. Haywood, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Well, good morning, professors. How y'all doing?
Pretty good,
I'm
Brother
doing pretty
Haywood.
good.
Yes,
We're
sir.
blessed, buddy.
Thank you for calling.
Okay, I'm gonna do both.
Okay. All right, which one do you want to answer?
The culinary question.
Culinary
Yeah, there you
question.
go.
Here we go. What kind of sauce, Haywood, is served on Eggs Benedict?
That would be hollandaise.
Hollandaise sauce. I don't even know what that is, but I figured
Hollandaise
you cooks
sauce?
would know. Yeah. Is it white? Kind of white?
Well, ask Haywood. He knows.
Hey, Haywood, what is hollandaise sauce?
It's yellow with a firm texture.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
it like mustard based or something, or?
It's got 3 or 4 different ingredients in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's called what now?
Hollandaise.
Yeah, I've had it before.
Haywood, do you like to cook? I mean, have you ever made hollandaise sauce?
I'm a great cook.
Do you
Oh,
like
all
Eggs
right.
Benedict, or you ever make them that way?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay, well then this question was right in your wheelhouse. Well, good answer,
Yeah,
buddy.
you want to if you want to impress your redneck friends,
Yes, sir.
make them Eggs Benedict.
All right, there's the hashtag for this program today. Well, listen, what's your question for us, Haywood?
Okay, this is kind of in lieu with D-Day yesterday. There were 2 great deceptions used by the Allied Army against the Germans before D-Day. It's a true or false question. 1, a great general was set up as a deception. Number 2, they used a dead body in a British officer's uniform with intelligence packets stuffed inside, and he was let go on the coast of Spain and drifted ashore. Now,
Are you asking?
both of these,
Go ahead.
are they both true? Or are they both false?
Okay, we're going to talk amongst ourselves for a minute. Hey, but don't say anything.
Those
I think
are
they're
both
both
true.
They're both true.
Yeah, they're both.
Yeah,
one is
the-
true about the
George Patton was the
Right.
general.
George,
and
that
they kept in England, and the Nazis believed that he was going to lead the invasion.
that was going to be the easiest, most logical.
So they had spies that were.
Well, they figured that they had spies, and they actually had a fake army there with blow up tanks
you
and
said
all
about
that kind of stuff.
inflatable
But the
tanks and everything.
dead body that they released.
Yeah, I think that was to.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, and I'm kind of cloudy on it, but it was so that they the Nazis would think that.
How do you release a dead body?
Just put him in a rubber dinghy and, get him out there where he'll drift to shore. Haywood, fill in the blanks. We're right on that, correct?
Yes, both are correct.
Tell about the cadaver.
Yeah.
Fill in the blanks on that.
Okay, several weeks prior to the invasion, they thought that Patton had been found out. They thought the German spies had uncovered it. So as a last-ditch effort, they used a cadaver, and they did take it near the shore of Spain in a dinghy, but they put the body in the water so it would wash up on shore. And the Germans, of course, found it, and they believed the fake information, and it actually worked.
How? Okay, I'm just asking. How do you keep the plans dry? The
Oh,
fake
they were in,
plan.
plastic sealed, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That you could. Of course, this is you got today. We think about smart warfare, right? You got satellites, you got phones, you got all kind of technology. This is still back in the spy era,
Yeah,
Right.
right?
I met a guy in Texas, and he had polio as a child, which was a big thing many, many years ago, and he was a little bit deformed, for lack of a better word. I know this is clumsy, and he walked with just a terrible gait. And when he was in the military, they made him one of those messengers. And he said because when people would kind of look, they'd kind of look away. Not to not be rude and like, oh, it's polite. This guy's struggling just to walk, and he'd ride a bicycle through the town, do this, do that, get these envelopes, and he said he could write a book. He said they took him out to a submarine, and the hatch opened, and he went, and he could only hand those like to the admiral, to the general. He couldn't give them to anybody. Oh, give them to me, and I'll make sure Colonel someone's. No, I have to personally hand these because, like you say, there was none of that other stuff. So they took messengers, and he said his life was constantly in danger. But instead of having somebody tall, dark, and handsome to look like Superman, they had somebody that would sort of, fit. You wouldn't just be thinking, oh, here comes a smart.
Yeah, Clark Gable.
Here comes Clark Kent, or whatever.
Yeah.
Clark Gable is going to be the spy.
He's going to look like the spy.
Right.
All right, Haywood, thank you so much. Great question. Hope you have a great weekend. All right, we go.
I was going to, there's a opening scene. One of my favorite movies is The Hunt for Red October.
Right.
Have you ever seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Anyway, part of the opening scene is he gets orders from, he's a Russian submariner.
Right.
Captain. But he gets his orders once he gets out to sea. That's when they unlock the wherever they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you didn't get your orders until you were.
So nobody could blab.
Yeah.
Hey, sweetie,
Yeah.
we'll be back
Right.
in
Right.
2-3 months.
That's right.
We're going to go spy on the Americans
Right.
with our new submarine.
Right. All right. You're listening to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Tim, Ed, and JJ. Go ahead.
All right, we go to Oklahoma, and Mike is on the line. Mike, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hey, good morning, guys, professors.
Hey, good morning, Brother Mike. Thanks for calling, man. From the Oklahoma Sooners won the national championship last night, the softball team.
The girls' softball. I watched some of that. I like watching girls' softball.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, they're a pretty serious team.
Well, they've won like 4 national championships in a row. It's getting boring for them, I think. But anyway, pretty amazing there. But all right, Mike, answer or both.
Okay, I'd like to try both. And something was missing from your program, from your promo this morning.
What was that?
The cowbell. Didn't hear that. No mystery question today. Okay.
No, we did that. We
did you?
Yeah, we
yes,
did.
sir. We covered it.
Mike, you're gonna have to quit drinking so early. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention.
Mike, don't worry about that. He's just messing with you.
Okay, I think poor Ed hadn't had one answered yet. I'm going to try that slogan.
All right, Mike, here's the question. What company used the slogan, "It's everywhere you want to be"?
I believe that was a Visa card.
That is.
Visa?
It is Visa.
Way to go, Mike.
I thought it was a question about humidity here in the summertime.
Way to go, Mike.
Yeah, nicely done.
That's funny.
And thanks for making mention of Poor Ed's Almanac.
Yes.
Or no, wait, that was just in my head.
All right, Brother
got
Mike, fire away.
Got a sports question for you. Okay. What sport has the most number of participants and also the largest number of spectators, live spectators?
Are you talking about
as opposed to what? Live, just like
as opposed to like TV.
I see. Mean, okay, so in person.
Yeah,
okay.
You were bordering on being a smart aleck.
Well, I follow in the shoes of the greatest
that would
of
be
all
rare
time.
for me.
Hey, would you mind repeating that? Because I want to make.
Is that in the U.S. or worldwide?
Yeah, because I'm.
It's in the U.S. It's the sporting event with the largest number of active participants, and also has the largest number of active live spectators.
Now we're talking among ourselves.
Yeah, don't
football,
say anything, Mike.
knee-jerk, you just say football, but why would he ask something so obvious?
Yeah, the live.
Well, okay,
spectators.
participants. Okay, just real quick, trying to figure this out. Participants, probably
marathon.
Huh?
How about like a marathon?
Well, they got all the soccer now.
But it's the.
In America,
it's the largest number of participants in the sport itself, right?
Okay, that would be in the U.S.
Okay.
I'm talking about these kids. They got kids out playing soccer when they're 2.
But he said event. Mike, are you talking about one event, or are you talking about participants in a sport like nationwide?
Oh, it's an annual event.
So it's one event.
Annual. Yeah.
All right, hold on, Mike.
So like the Boston Marathon? Is that
I'm wondering if it's a marathon because there's a lot of participants.
Let's say
Okay,
Boston
I'm
Marathon.
Super
what I'm gonna
Bowl.
Say.
All right.
Oh, Super Bowl. Yeah, they got more people in the stands.
100,000.
I'm changing. I'm going with Tim. Super Bowl.
I'm going to still stick with marathon. The number of spectators may be what kills me on that. But anyway, we've got answers on the table, Mike. What's the right answer?
Okay, to be specific, it's the New York City Marathon.
New York City
Marathon. Okay.
What are the numbers on that?
Yeah. Okay. How about this? Over 51,000 registered participants. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And like over 2 million spectators along the route, 26-mile route.
Now those 51,000, how many are varsity and how many are junior varsity?
It's a mix.
Yeah.
There's professionals, amateurs.
51,000.
What's the survival rate, Mike?
26.2 miles.
In that event, 97% of participants live to tell about it. That's
great.
interesting.
Good trivia. Good
I didn't realize that there'd be that many spectators. But
actually,
the
the word participant should have Super Bowl. I should have thought. I don't know. I was thinking about viewers
because he didn't say players, so that kind of got us off on the interesting.
All right, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Next up, Ed.
All right, we go to Louisiana.
No, we don't. Do we?
We do.
Really? Wow.
We be there now.
Hot sauce.
Ken and Laura are joining us from Louisiana. Ken and Laura, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hello. We're so pleased to join you.
Hey, Ken, Pat Sajak stepping down. You got Vanna right there, the new Vanna right by your side there. So it could be Ken and Laura. Give me a vowel, turn the numbers. At least don't rule it out, okay?
We'll consider it. You know, I've been in radio, and the announcer quality voice that I have, I could probably pull it off.
Okay. You do have a good voice.
Yeah, either that or you've been smoking two
Two
many Camel cigarettes for too long.
A lot of years. Hey, ask, answer, or do both, Ken and Laura.
Well, we're going to attempt to do both.
The cola question, and we have our own question.
Okay. Ken and Laura joining us from Louisiana, and they are about to answer my question. And here it is. This was in the news this week, actually.
I read this.
Yes. So Coca-Cola is the most popular soft drink in the U.S. Pepsi has always been number 2. But now this particular drink has surpassed Pepsi. What is it?
Well, my lovely wife thinks it is
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Wow.
Yeah, your lovely wife was right.
Surprised.
Dr. Pepper. Are you a Dr. Pepper fan?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
Well, you know, Dr. Pepper has all kind of. They got like 20 different offshoots, don't they, or flavors and stuff, right?
Dr. Thunder, people like that. Yeah.
What's your favorite one, Laura?
Dr. Pepper.
Just regular.
Just regular, straight up.
Straight up.
Diet.
Diet, Dr. Pepper?
Both, actually.
Okay. Well, anyway, now it's still Pepsi's they're still neck and neck, but Dr. Pepper for the first time in like 25 years is the number 2 most popular soft drink.
Does either Coke or Pepsi own Dr. Pepper, or is it a standalone company?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I don't know the answer.
And
I believe it's a Coca-Cola product.
Yeah, I think it's Coca-Cola.
It's a Coca-Cola product.
Oh, it is? Okay, Dr. Pepper is. Oh, yeah, because I want to say Pepsi created Mr. Pibb.
Yeah.
To try to compete with
that was a big success.
Dr. Pepper.
I was in a restaurant the other day, and they actually had Mr. Pibb on the menu, and I got one.
Really?
Did you like
those?
So Mr. Pibb's still out there.
Slidell.
Yeah, we're from Slidell.
Okay.
Slidell.
You guys know where Slidell is?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Been there. I spoke at the First Baptist Church there.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that last time we called.
Yeah, I spoke there.
North Shore, Lake
Good
Pontchartrain.
people.
They split up
really
a couple of weeks
wonderful
after I
outfit.
left. Sad.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right.
What's your question for us?
The professors, and we're going to do this in our Rutherford characters.
Oh, yes.
My dear, how many cows were there in Pharaoh's dream that was interpreted by Joseph? Oh, dear, how many?
I don't know, my darling.
The bovines were quite prevalent that day.
Oh, yes, but we need the number of the cows in Pharaoh's dream.
All right, guys, I think we're going to say 14. Yeah, didn't you have 7 fat cows and 7 skinny cows? And the cows came up, the skinny cows ate the fat cows because of the amount of famine.
And it was horrifying. There was just hooves,
I'd say instead of a
everywhere.
dream, that was more of a nightmare. Pharaoh's, would you interpret Pharaoh's nightmare? So I want to say 14, but I may
No, I
be
think
off
you're
there.
right. I was thinking 7, but you're right. It was 7 fat and 7 skinny.
Yeah.
So.
How are we doing there?
You did great. There were 7 good, fat, healthy cows and 7
gaunt and skinny cows.
not so healthy.
So you're doing a Louisiana/British accent
Yeah, I'm having
there.
a hard time locating that on the map.
that's the theater. That's the Louisiana theater that we're getting right there. That's good.
Shakespeare with the EAUX or something like that.
Hey, God bless you both. Thanks for listening to AFR.
That's good.
Oh, that was good, Tim.
All right, you're listening to Trivia Friday. That was Laura and
Ken and Laura.
Ken and Laura.
Ken and
So
Laura.
to book them,
Yes.
at your event,
Right. Or maybe if you can harken back to those Christmas presents, you girls that got Ken and Laura dolls and played with those.
Ken and Laura dolls.
Hey, let me ask you guys a real quick question.
Okay.
Do you Coca-Cola is number one? Like 20% of Americans drink Coke.
Right.
Right. Of all the soft drinks, And then Pepsi and Dr. Pepper are at about 8.5%.
Okay.
You know what would be next?
Mountain Dew?
No, don't say. It's going to be Sprite.
Sprite.
Is it Sprite?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's in this order: Coke, Coca-Cola, straight up. Then Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, then Sprite, then Diet Coke, then Mountain Dew. After that, it really falls off.
Iceland, they don't do a whole lot of things that you would think, but they drink more Cokes in Iceland, Coca-Cola, than any other nation per person.
Oh, per person. Really?
Yeah.
You know, still made it in the top 10. Fanta.
They're
Fanta
still around.
Orange?
Yeah.
That,
Aren't they the orange drink?
Yeah,
I think
well,
so.
well, they do have other flavors, but were well known for Fanta Orange.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fanta's number 9, and coming in at number 10.
All right.
Coming in at number 10 of the most popular soft drinks in the United States of America.
RC.
Good guess, JJ, but it's Canada Dry Ginger Ale.
I loved Canada Dry Ginger Ale growing up.
I didn't know anybody else made ginger ale besides Canada Dry until like 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, because there's some Michigan brand that's very popular up there.
What do they make ginger ale out of? I mean, is it ginger?
I think horse hooves. I
Horse?
think we covered that.
Horse
No, that's
hooves?
gelatin. I get all my.
I thought that, but there was
horse
something.
hoof
There's something
trivia
where you
mixed
live,
up.
where you grew up. Some kind of something.
No, not me. But here I am kind of thinking. Here's the deal.
What kind of tree? How kind of tree though, JJ? It's they
From
made
a-
drinks out of. Where you
Oh,
live.
you're thinking sassafras.
Yeah, you're talking
tree.
about
Sassafras tea and sassafras.
Yeah.
That's not ginger.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the deal. If double cola ain't on that list, I really don't want to hear no more. Because you sit out there and eat some hoop cheese at the country store and maybe a gnaw on a moon pie. You got some double cola, that'll take you back, my friend, back to the 50s and 60s.
Double cola.
Double cola. Please tell me you've heard of double cola.
I've never heard of it. I don't know
I know
what
this
you're talking
country boy sitting across from me. Double
I
cola.
don't know, JJ. I don't think I've heard of it. I've heard of cola. I've heard of putting vanilla ice cream on top of Coca-Cola.
No, when one of our next listeners calls in, if they're grandparent or remember their great grandparents, if they're from the South, they're going to tell you they remember double.
Okay, a Coke float though. You know what a Coke?
Yeah,
float?
Coke
absolutely.
float, sure.
Love Coke floats. I just want to know.
There was a great movie, Coke Floats. That was awesome. It was a chick flick, but it was a good movie.
Talking about the hoop cheese?
I had
What you
something
got?
I wanted to say, guys.
Sorry, go ahead.
So no, forget it now.
No,
come
we
on,
care.
kid.
No, really, we apologize. We're sorry.
I'm gonna go.
You
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
Get
We're
some
here for
Botox.
you.
No, you share your heart. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I want to know who gnaws on a moon pie.
That was the wrong word for that. My codger got a little lost in translation there. No, that sounds like
a
mouse.
turkey leg. Or
Yes, a Viking with a turkey leg or a mouse in the middle of the night trying to ruin your best package or something.
Hey, we should probably maybe reset our questions before the break.
Yeah, I think what we'll do here, because we're short of time, we'll reset our questions, take our break, and then come back and get to the calls, and we won't repeat our questions in 5 minutes. How about
Right,
those?
because we have Lila from Michigan on
been
the line.
holding. Bless her
Lila,
heart.
you're up next. She's been waiting a
Yes.
long time. Don't give
Right.
up,
Right.
Lila. All right, here are I'll have to add a question. On the Andy Griffith Show, you know what? Yeah, I'll add one. On the Andy Griffith Show, who was the bank guard who only had one moldy bullet? Second question, Greenland is part of the continent of North America, true or false? And third, the word hyper is short for what word? That's what I've got.
What movie holds the record for the most weeks at #1 in the box office? Titanic, E.T., or Jaws? What is Harlan? No, wait, let's see. Which is by far the most painting in the Louvre? It's seen more than
Most
any
popular,
other.
okay.
Then I'll add one. What is Harlan David Sanders world famous for? Harlan David Sanders.
All right, my two questions are, what is the main ingredient in both mortar and concrete? And secondly, what is the deadliest animal to humans? What is the deadliest animal to humans? We'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll go right to the phones.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast may not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association or American Family Radio.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio.
American Family Association, a ministry with a mission to inform, equip, and activate people like you to strengthen the moral foundations of American culture and to give aid to the church here and abroad in her task of fulfilling the Great Commission. We couldn't do it without your day-to-day support. American Family Association. Find us online at afa.net.
This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh. The prosecution wrapped up its case in the felony gun charges trial against President Biden's son, Hunter. Lucas Tomlinson has the latest from Wilmington, Delaware.
An FBI forensic chemist said that he discovered traces of cocaine on that pouch that contained the handgun that Hallie Biden threw in the trash. And of course, whether or not Hunter Biden was on drugs when he purchased that handgun in October of 2018, that is the crux of the prosecution's argument here in Wilmington. The prosecution is saying this is proof that Hunter Biden was on drugs when he purchased this .38 caliber Colt Cobra revolver. Hunter has maintained, and the defense has maintained, that he was not on drugs at the time. Abby Lowell saying that he was on alcohol. He was drinking alcohol. He was not on drugs at the time.
Florida Representative Byron Donalds, who is one of the few black Republicans in Congress, is now being criticized by some after saying recently that black families were more bound together and closer during the Jim Crow era. He says his comments are being taken out of context because he mentioned the Jim Crow era and that he was mentioning certain family dynamics that are not as common nowadays.
Joe Biden, his campaign, Democrat leadership, and the terrible press want to make an issue. They want to gaslight black people in this country. They want to make black people think in America that Republicans look at Jim Crow as it was some great time in American history. That is not true. They are gaslighting. They're lying.
Will a U.S. appeals court stop federal agents from removing razor wire barriers built by Texas along the Rio Grande? Evan Brown reports.
A federal district court already ruled that U.S. Border Patrol and other federal agencies were free to cut down razor wire barriers installed by Texas law enforcement near the Rio Grande in an effort to curb illegal border crossings from Mexico. The state began the practice, claiming the Biden administration is failing to prevent the crossings and leaving Texas towns to care for thousands of migrants. But now a panel of the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals is being asked to rule the other way. One of the panel's judges openly opined that while federal agents can't be sued for doing their jobs, they remove the fence to allow uncontrolled migration, not prevent it. A ruling has not yet been made. Evan Brown, Fox News.
Former President Donald Trump is now courting voters in key swing state Arizona. Alicia Acuna explains from Phoenix.
He's kicked off his western state swing by taking a swing at President Biden's executive order on immigration.
I will terminate every single open borders policy of the Biden administration.
The Biden-Harris camp hit back in a statement in part reading, Donald Trump blocked the toughest, fairest bipartisan border legislation in a generation, legislation that would have increased the nation's border security and helped halt the flow of fentanyl into this country, and he did it because he thinks it would help him politically. A new Fox News poll found Trump is improving in this battleground state.
Republicans have rejected Democrats' efforts to destroy state barriers against abortion pills. Charlie Butts has the story.
The bill before the U.S. Senate titled the Right to Contraception Act was supposed to guarantee a right to contraception, although contraception is widely available and no state laws bar it. Jamie Dangers of Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America tells AFN the purpose is political showtime.
I think this is all part of the Democrats' fear-mongering campaign. They're trying to create fear and chaos. They're trying to get people to believe that things are problems that are not actually problems in order to make Republicans look bad.
But reading between the lines, Danger says there's a hidden agenda because the term contraceptive is defined so broadly in the bill.
Then, in fact, this bill, far from being just a right to contraception, is actually a right to obtain abortion drugs, a right to provide abortion drugs, a right to provide referrals and services for abortion drugs, and could overturn laws that regulate abortion drugs.
She says her organization was pleased to see Republicans in the Senate block the legislation and expose it for what it was really intended to accomplish. I'm Charlie Butts.
America's employers added 272,000 jobs in May, the unemployment rate at 4%. More news online at afn.net or download the AFN mobile app. I'm Rusty Pugh.
What we believe about the Bible is based on what we believe about its source.
The God Who Speaks, the award-winning documentary from the American Family Association, is now available in a special limited edition DVD set. This release includes a Sunday school curriculum and 2 hours of additional footage. Go to thegodwhospeaks.org to get your copy today. thegodwhospeaks.org. This is Trivia Friday. The number to call with your question or your answer to a question is 888-589-8840. Now, back to more Trivia Friday.
Hey, welcome back to everybody to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. I'm Tim Wildman with Ed Vitagliano and JJ Jasper. We go to Lila now in Michigan. Hi, Lila.
Lila, you there? Better take your phone off mute if you're muted.
Says Lila's 13 years old. Lila, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, well, good to hear your voice. Where do you live?
You too.
Where do you live in Michigan?
Newaygo.
Okay, is it summer? It's summertime now, right? Everybody's enjoying the outdoors.
Yes.
Okay, well, listen, Lila, thanks for calling. And by the way, is that near Fremont?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because I've got some friends that live in Fremont.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Lila, you want to ask, answer, or both?
Both.
Okay, which one do you want to answer?
The mortar and concrete.
Okay, the question is that Lila's going to answer. What is the main ingredient in both mortar and concrete?
Portland cement.
Wow, that's right.
Nicely done.
Portland cement. So how did you know the answer to that?
My dad works in construction.
Well, there you go.
Wow,
that's wonderful, and
I'm impressed.
Yeah,
and you're paying attention.
Very impressive.
Because a lot of people confuse, I think, concrete and cement. At least, if you'd asked me before I researched this question, what's the difference? I would have said not even a difference.
I would.
That's right. When people say, "Here comes the cement truck," well, it's the concrete truck.
Okay.
Because there's cement and sand and rocks that make up concrete.
Okay.
So, Lila, way to go. It helped.
Nicely done.
Helped your dad there's job. Helped you answer that question.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when you're mixing mortar, it's 1 bag of cement, 16 shovels of sand, and then water.
JJ knows about that stuff.
And then a lot of sweat,
a lot
blood,
of sore backs.
tears. That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, go ahead. Your question for us, Lila. We're ready.
All right. You see a boat filled with people, but there is not a single person on board. How can that be?
You see a boat filled with people.
It's going to be a nice riddle.
But not a single person on board. Okay, well, all right. We're going to talk amongst ourselves, Lila, so don't say anything. Okay, is this playing off on board being on the top, on the deck of a boat and people down below or something?
Hey, Lila, will you say it one more time so we can listen with our riddle antenna up?
Yes. You see a boat filled with people, but there's not a single person on board. How can that be?
Socrates asked this question.
It's a different kind of boat, y'all. I think of a different boat. Like you see a boat, you have different things for shoe or whatever. Don't think.
I think you may be on something there, JJ.
Yeah,
but the short answer is we don't know.
I'm stumped. I'm already
we're
stumped.
What's the answer?
They're all married.
Not a single.
Like it. Hey,
it's always that one word in a riddle.
That's right.
Right.
Oh,
that was good, Lila. You tricked us there.
Yeah.
You got us.
Lila,
thank you.
Enjoy riding your bike and swimming and hanging out with your friends. We hope you have a wonderful and safe summer.
Wow, that was
sweet
great.
girl.
Hey,
Lila,
speaking of summer, JJ, are you speaking anywhere this this summer?
I am. I have the weekend off, but if I can make mention, my daughter Maddie, who you guys know well, she's grown up on the radio. She just graduated from Blue Mountain Christian University with a lot of honors. She's an elite athlete. She's a children's director at a church near Memphis, Tennessee. She wouldn't let me say on the radio what her next step is because she hadn't told her kids yet. She's been a children's director for 4 years, so she said, let me tell them before you make mention. She's going to be a missionary. She's moving to Kenya, Africa in August. How tough is that going to be for parents to put their daughter on a plane to go to another continent?
I wouldn't do it. But you can do it if you want to.
Well, hey, and
I'm teasing. Listen.
Yeah.
The Lord calls people to do things, and sometimes it even means families being separated.
Yeah.
And we all know missionaries and people who have to be separated because they're in the service, or whatever.
That's right.
So I was just
kidding
right. about that.
You're talking about how hard it is.
But for parents,
listen.
it's like, are you sure you heard from the Lord? I think you need about 30 more days of prayer on
Let
this
me
thing.
put that
30
in
more years.
perspective.
Yeah.
So Maddie had such a bent towards missions. When she was 4 or 5 years old, Melanie and I said, well, we know we better get ready. We know we're going to lose her to the mission field. And so for us to say as parents, we're going to lose her, but we know she's in the center of God's will. Oh, and she was talking with 2 different people for about a year. One, she was going to get a paid salary. The one that she chose, she has to raise support. So please pray for her. And I just posted something on Facebook. She's going to be with Africa Inland Mission Group, and she's going to be teaching at Rift Valley Academy in Kajabi, Kenya. So she's moving over there for I don't know how many years, and she doesn't either, but it's a 1-year commitment at a time.
The Wilsons may still be there at that school.
The Wilsons?
John and Rose. Yeah.
John.
What?
Wait.
At that school JJ's talking about.
What is,
you lost me.
What was the name of the school again?
It's Rift Valley.
It's Rift Valley. It's the same one.
Rift
in Kenya.
All right,
I'm
this
lost.
is a reference to some song, John and Rose.
Let's move on.
Okay. Hey, pray for Maddie. You can go to JJ Jasper Official on Facebook and get more info.
Could
We'd
they?
appreciate
Let me just.
your
I'm
prayers.
not trying to extend this, but you didn't, ask me to do this. But if they go to this Facebook page, can they commit to give?
Oh, they sure can.
Because she needs to raise.
She has
her
to
support.
raise her own support. Yes, sir. Thank you for that.
Back to the phone.
All right, let's go to Indiana, fellas. David is on the line. David, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Well, thank you. You guys are an oasis in the middle of my week. I wait for Fridays to escape the craziness of the world with you guys.
I've never been called.
You
part
are
of an
Ed.
oasis.
You are.
Yes.
Wow.
David, thank you for writing for Hallmark all those years. It's paid off, even in casual conversation. So
You are an
and
oasis.
thank you for your honesty.
My week. I like it.
Ask, answer, or do both, friend.
I will answer
Which one you want to answer?
the Louvre question.
All right, and Louvre. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
That's Indiana.
Which is by
Neither am I. Yeah,
which
I
is
come
by
from a little
far
town.
the most viewed painting in the Louvre there in Paris, France. Which is by far the most viewed painting in the Louvre.
I would say that would be the Mona Lisa.
You would be correct. Yeah.
Yeah, the Mona Lisa.
With no eyebrows.
I have been there.
And you've seen the Mona
Yeah,
Lisa?
I've seen the Mona Lisa, yep.
Wow.
Very impressive.
At the Louvre.
I'm just going to say about the Mona Lisa, I'm just going to be honest here. I don't get it.
We talked about culture earlier.
I'm reaching all the way across for a
You're going to
fist
take back
bump.
what you said?
I think he's doubling down. I don't think he's taking back. When he
Not
said,
holding
you are a
back.
cultured man, well, you were being lathered in sarcasm.
Oh, man.
David,
Well played.
good
Well
answer,
played, sir.
David. Way to
Yes,
go,
sir.
brother.
What's your question
Mona
for
Lisa.
us?
I was a contestant on Wheel of Fortune when Chuck Woolery was the guy.
Wow.
This is a first of
1979.
Learning University. What year?
79.
I think it was 1979. It was so long ago, but yeah, I think it was 79.
Tell us a story about that. How did that happen?
You had to go in and audition, and they had to make sure that you weren't going to freeze up on camera and everything. And I think we did 2 auditions, and then boom, you were on the air. And back then, you won money, but then you had to buy prizes. That they had a whole bunch of things. I got a trip to Mexico City and all sorts of things. I won one day, and then the next day I lost. But it was an amazing experience.
Was that in California or New York?
It was in California.
Hey, David,
Okay.
I don't know why I was reading an article about it, maybe searching for trivia, but they said when you go and do a little test run and they have a replica set, everybody said what they were most surprised is how heavy that wheel was to get that dude started, to spin it. Is that right? Do you remember?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was a little girl next to me, and I didn't think she was going to be able to turn it. You had to really lean into it to get it to move.
That's what they were saying.
And it had to go all the way around, completely around one time, or you had to re-roll.
So did they pay for you to come out there?
No, I lived out there then.
Oh, you lived out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the guy that sent you the poster. The
Yeah. Okay, yeah. With all the memorabilia, whatever you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, David,
I worked in motion pictures for 35 years, so.
super. What capacity?
I was a key grip, a dolly grip, and a camera operator.
So you're the guy at the end of those credits.
I'm the guy.
Best boy, key grip. Well, I'm glad I finally got to talk to one of you
After 2
guys.
minutes of credits rolling,
Right.
There's David's name.
That's it, key grip.
I'm also the guy, I had a bit part in the original Terminator. I'm the guy that got out of the truck. He said, get out, and I'm the guy that got out.
All right, so
That's my,
I know
15
that
seconds of fame.
now that you're saying all this, our American Family Studios team came up there. You invited them up there, I think, or something, and they were on the way to go interview, and then you showed them a bunch of your memorabilia because they came back and told me about that and told me about you being in Terminator.
That's pretty cool, David.
Yeah.
Well, we promised people trivia. There you go. We didn't plan this. Hey, David, what's your question for us?
Well, I didn't have any question for you guys.
Okay. Well,
the last time I think I asked about the town that I'm living in right now called Peru, Indiana. It's amazing. Cole Porter was from here, which they're having Cole Porter weekend this weekend. Ole Olesen was from here, and it's the circus town of America.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's an amazing little 10,000 people, and it's got all those claim to fame.
I think Washington D.C. has overtaken your town. Circus town of America.
I like it.
Filled with clowns. Anyway, all right, David.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. It was great to talk to you again, and boy, that was just very interesting.
Yeah, I mentioned this before. He was talking about that. My aunt, she's since passed away, but she was a contestant on The Price is Right in New York.
Oh, all right.
Back in the 60s, she won a car.
She really did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and some other stuff. She won a whole bunch of stuff.
Huh.
Price is Right in New York. I forgot. It was prior to Bob Barker, somebody else.
That's very interesting.
Maybe. But anyway, yeah. You're listening to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Next up, Ed.
All right, we go to Texas, and Beth is on the line. Beth, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Beth. Where are you calling from in Texas?
College Station.
Okay, and the Aggies are hosting the Super Regional Baseball Tournament this weekend.
That's right. We're having a big crowd, and we're also hosting the soccer game between Brazil and Mexico.
Oh, really? They're
that's a big deal.
At Kyle Field?
At Kyle Field, yes.
Wow. Is that a part of like a North American soccer tournament, or what is that? I'm not North American, but
Preview to it.
Okay. Anyway.
And then the next weekend we host the George Strait concert. So we're getting big.
You need more tourists coming to town.
Yeah.
Is the George Strait going to be at Kyle Field too?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Wow. All right. Well, anyway, big things happening there. But all right, Beth, ask, answer, or both?
Okay, I'm gonna do both.
Okay, which one you want to answer?
Well, my instinct is to go with the movie. Which one has been on the longest?
All right, JJ,
all right,
your
here
question.
we go. Now, I'm going to go a little slow on this to give you all the info. What movie holds the record for the most weeks at #1 at the box office? Now, Beth, this is not the one that made the most money. It stayed number one for 16 straight weeks. Was it A, Titanic, B, E.T., the extraterrestrial, or C, Jaws? What say you?
I say Titanic.
That's what I would have said.
Nope, that's not the answer.
We're out of
But
time.
you helped it for the next person.
Are you going to hold it?
I'm going to hold it over. Yeah. Thanks for trying. What's your question for us?
All right, y'all were talking one time about riding horses, and I grew up riding horses. And when our horse would want to go back to the barn, what would we call that? Like it would just take off and want to go back to the barn.
I call it terrifying.
Yeah, no, there's a word for it. What is the word? Barn spoiled or stall something? There's an actual slang word for it, and it's right on the tip of my tongue.
My life could depend on this, and I couldn't.
I got
even
the
get
best
close.
chance of answering, Beth. I know it, but I just can't bring it to mind. What's the answer?
It's what I say when I want to go home from a travel, that it's barn sour.
That's it, barn sour.
Barn sour.
Yeah, if you get them going, you have to hold the reins real good, keep them on course, because if they can see the barn out of their peripheral and there's like an imaginary line, when you just get relaxed in the saddle, they'll bolt, they'll take off, and the barn door is usually just short enough where you got to lay all the way back or you're going to get decapitated because they just go right back to the stall, and a whole lot of horses will do that. But after you get past a certain point, they're like, okay, I need to settle in here and, be a,
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, if you know it's coming, you know it's going to happen, and that's,
Yeah, it makes it much better.
All right,
if you
Beth.
know it's coming.
Yeah, what kind of horses you guys have? I know we're close on time, but what kind of horses?
I grew up with a paint horse.
Yeah, those are nice.
With the what?
Paint horse.
You have pintos and you have paints, and so thank you.
You know, there's one of those in the Louvre.
Is there really?
Thank you, Beth.
Yeah.
A real one? Is it Trigger? Because they've asked him a lot of questions, but he's stuffed. He won't answer.
It's a paint horse.
Oh, a paint horse.
In the Louvre.
I got it.
Yeah, Ed, you get that one?
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Painted
All right.
horse.
We go to Minnesota. And Jessica is on the line. Jessica, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hi, thank you so much.
Hey, Jessica, thanks for calling. Have you been on with us before?
I have a couple of times, I believe.
Okay, well, 'cause I thought I remembered a Jessica from Minnesota before, but listen, thanks for calling. You want to ask, answer, or both?
I will do both, please.
By the way, can you see the little house on the prairie from where you are?
I can see it, but it's
Okay.
pretty little.
Okay. I love that show.
It is good.
Can you see Russia from your back porch?
Well, my grandchildren watch that today.
Have discovered it.
Yeah.
And they love that show.
My daughter got turned onto it back in the fall, and she binge watches.
Oh, yeah.
She watches every single day, Little House on the Prairie.
Great show. One of the great shows in TV history. And the setting
Good
is
morals.
The setting is Minnesota back in the 1800s, I think. All right, Jessica, ask, answer, or both? Or did I ask her that?
I can't remember. I wasn't really.
Did you want to ask, answer, or both, Jessica?
I'll do both.
Okay, which one you want to answer?
The question about Greenland.
All right, here's the question, Jessica. Greenland is part of the continent of North America. Is that true or false?
That is true.
It is. It's true.
What?
Greenland is part of the continent of North America. Has to do with that shelf underneath some of the water. It's all part of.
You really believe in that?
Yes. I double checked on this one. When there are science questions, I'll double check.
Greenland is a part of North America?
Is a part of North America. How did you know that, Jessica?
I looked it up.
Yeah, that's all right. Research.
That's right.
Never knew
You
that.
got to get those tectonic plates. You got to keep all that straight.
I thought that when you look at North America as a continent, it would include Mexico, the U.S., and Canada.
That's what I'm thinking.
I can't remember if it includes Central America or not.
No, I don't think
it
so.
It doesn't,
No.
but it
No.
also includes the islands in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
They're all a part of that same,
North
like you said, that plate or whatever.
Yeah,
you call
we
it.
all know about that. Yeah. So paid attention that day in science class, didn't we? That was geography.
Yeah.
All right. What's your question for us, Jessica?
Okay. What is the largest bird in the world?
Don't say anything, Jessica.
It's an ostrich, boys. Unless it's not like somebody told us a prehistoric woolly mammoth with wings or whatever that guy.
You're talking about living,
It's
right,
ostrich.
Jessica?
Yeah.
What's the question?
The largest bird in the world. So what about the emu? Is that going to be?
No, it's ostrich.
It's that Buffalo Wild Wings character on TV. Now, you seen him?
Yeah.
He talks.
Yeah, buffalo with
You're
wings.
talking about on the Liberty Mutual?
You know, there'd be no way getting away from that
No, I'm
dude.
talking about the-
You made him mad.
Yeah, y'all hadn't seen the Buffalo Wild Wings commercial?
I haven't.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
what about an albatross?
No, not
They
not
just
even close.
good about hanging stuff around your
Ostrich.
neck. That's all they're good for.
Okay.
Hey, what about
Well, shot
what's the
down.
answer?
Y'all shot that down. Didn't even.
That's like a giant seagull. Is all.
Yeah.
Okay, ostrich. I'm going ostrich.
Yeah, I'm going ostrich. How about?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jessica.
It is the ostrich.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have you ever seen an ostrich up close?
I have not. I think it would be really cool though to see one.
They're
but-
faster than a horse in a short race.
Yeah.
But then so is an alligator. Alligator's faster than you think.
But I will say that I did have ostrich wings at Buffalo Wild Wings, so that was
that was
quite an
pretty-
experience.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate it. God bless you. Have a great day.
We have time for one more or no?
Yeah, we do. We have
We got
time
3
for
minutes.
one
All right.
more.
We'll go back to Minnesota. We're going to stay in Minnesota. Lori, welcome to Trivia Friday, and we are up against the clock, so we have 60 seconds. Would you like to ask, answer, or do both?
I will answer.
All right. Which one do you want to try to answer?
The movie.
All right. Now it's down to 2. What movie holds the record for the most weeks at number 1 at the box office? 16 weeks in the theater. Was it E.T. or Jaws?
E.T.
E.T. I got a little backstory. You know, Spielberg must have been a cinematic genius. He had Jaws in the summer. You didn't release films in the summer. He did a throwaway. It was a monster hit, pun intended. 7 years later, he had E.T., 16 weeks at number 1, and it stayed in the theater for an entire year. 1982, It was in the theater for 363 days. Amazing. It holds that record for like 40-something.
That'll never be broken.
40-something years.
Movies don't stay at theaters like that.
Well, they're in
anymore.
for a couple of weeks, and they quickly go to DVD. They know they can make money that way. Did you know that, Lori, or just a good guess?
I would have said Titanic, but you said not the highest grossing.
Right.
So that kind of took that out. So
Yeah, I think it
figured
made
was
more
E.T.
money. Right. Hey, way to go. Way to end the show on a good note there. Thanks
didn't
for
have a
listening.
question for
Oh,
us?
yeah. What's your question for us?
Oh, I did not have a question other than did I hear the bell ring?
No, you didn't, Lori.
No. Good try,
Good.
though.
Yeah, that's a good. That is. We're sorry about that to all our listeners, but hey.
Well, I'm going to get. The
Thank you, Lori.
mystery question was the first question of the show. Was my Andy Griffith question.
Mm-hmm.
So you mocked it, and you probably might have discouraged people from trying it.
They could have got a stainless steel.
How would they have known?
Who?
That's a mystery question.
Who was the bank guard who had only one moldy bullet? Anybody know?
No.
Asa.
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 Didn't he write some good fables, too?
That's Asa's fable.
After that career.
The word hyper is short for what word?
Hypersonic.
Hyperactive.
Okay.
All right, that's all I got.
All right, here's what I got. Harlan, David Sanders. What was he
Kentucky
famous?
Fried Chicken.
Yes,
Fried
that's some
chicken.
finger-licking good trivia. Tim?
What is the deadliest animal to humans?
Mosquito.
Mosquito.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
By far and away.
Because of diseases.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes.
Malaria, especially.
Sadly, kill more people than any other animal. By far. All right. Well, we hope you have a mosquito-free summer.
Yep.
Is that it? All
Is
your
that what
questions?
you have?
Yeah, that's all I got left.
JJ Jasper Official on Facebook. Find out where our daughter Maddie is going to move and live there in Kajabi, Kenya, and please pray for her.
Amen.
And where in
Kajabi, Kenya. She's moving to Africa, leaves August the 5th.
You know, I miss the rain.
Down in Africa?
Down in Africa. We'll see you next time, everybody.
We live in a day when America's